Hi, this is Arthur Carmazzi, best-selling author and currently ranked as one of the world's top 10 thought leaders in organizational culture and leadership. And welcome to Where's Your Brain? Okay, if you recall in the past episodes, we started talking about ambiguity relief with the very first one. And if you don't remember, ambiguity relief is the genetic way that our brain interprets, processes, and basically gets clarity of information in the world around it. And of course, there are the action sequences related to that clarity. Now, we also talked about brain power and how, by being true to your process, you will be able to essentially use or have more brain power. And last time we also just talked about the chaotic brain process, the chaotic ambiguity brain process, or the green brain process according to the colored brain model. And today we're going to be talking about linear processing. Linear processing, basically, linear processing is all about structure. It is about connecting structure. It is about finding the elements and the facts that will create, that will lead to structure. Finding the specific things, not tons of information, but just the specific information that more or less connects in order to create some kind of structure and how to connect that structure. And of course, okay, the red brain process, what they do is once they start to see, okay, here, how does this connect to this? How does this connect to this? How does this relate to this? Then they start building little blocks of clarity, and then they kind of cross-reference those different little chunks or blocks. And so it's like, oh, okay, this part here is clear, and so, okay, this part here is kind of clear, and so let's say we take this together. How does it work? Does it fit? Does it make sense? Okay, and then they kind of, build on that and build on that and build on that until they have kind of this whole outline. Now, here's the thing. A red brain is not going to feel comfortable taking action without some real clarity. In fact, clarity is really important for a red brain. Now, does this mean that red brains don't take action without clarity? No, it just depends on the level of risk adversity that a red brain might have. But they certainly feel a lot more comfortable when they have absolute clarity, unlike the green brains, which we talked about last time, which basically need very little clarity to move and to take action. So, once the red brain has clarity, then they can move if it is in line with the expectation. Now, here's the thing. Red brains make the least mistakes than any other brain color. And they also, if they do make a mistake, however, then they kind of have to start at the beginning, which means that they also have the longest recovery period if they do make a mistake from any other brain color. Why? Well, because they got to check. I was like, well, the facts must be wrong. Or maybe, I put it together in the wrong way, or I connected things in the wrong way, and so therefore it just doesn't make sense. So this whole logical, linear process, okay, is very easily structured and connected for a red brain. Okay, so this equals this equals this equals this equals this. Now, for a red brain, this is perfectly natural. Now, of course, if something goes wrong, it's like, well, but it was connecting, right? So start from the beginning. Now, of course, red brains may also be misunderstood by other people because of their logical process. They also tend to be very objective. And because they tend to be objective, well, sometimes people feel that they are insensitive or uncaring. And so sometimes, just like any other person, sometimes red brains can be very caring or maybe not so caring, just like anybody else. But the thing is that they kind of have this way of expressing themselves that is objective, which sometimes people just totally misinterpret. So remember, red brains can be just as caring or uncaring as anybody else. Now, in a connection type of situation when you are with somebody, a red brain is basically going to do things for you in order to essentially show their caring. All right? And of course, if you remember from video 4, this is all genetic. So the red brain, the green brain, this is a genetic ambiguity relief process, which basically means you can't change it. Now, remember, this process is only the process by which people get clarity, but of course, remember that also the process by which people get clarity determines how they essentially come up with solutions, how they come up with ideas, and for that matter, how they will look at something and or solve problems. All right, so this does not have anything to do with why or the motivations or whether they're introvert or extrovert, okay? But it is a genetic process. So one of the key things here, since you can't change them, you can't change the process, okay? What you can do is leverage on their strengths. But oftentimes there is conflict. So we've already learned a little bit about the green brain, chaotic processing, and now we've learned a little bit about the red brain, linear processing. So why do they have conflict? Well, imagine this, okay? Here's the green brain. It's like, whoa, I got a little bit of information. Let's go, okay? They need to take action to get clarity. The red brain's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? You're taking action and you're like, we don't even know what's happening yet and there's no clarity. It's like, okay? So the red brain is freaking out because the green brain's going, and of course the green brain says, oh, you're holding me back, man. Okay? And the red brain's like, what are you talking about? I'm saving your life. And basically, there is conflict. Now, how can a red and a green essentially support each other, leverage on each other's strengths? Well, okay, first of all, the red brain can ask the green lots of questions that the green can think about before they actually start taking the action. And of course, the green can help the red brain to kind of get off his butt and move, even if, it's not completely clear, because sometimes speed is important. So, in a brief, of course, there's a lot more that each of the different colors has to offer each other, but one thing I'd like you to remember is that in this particular case, okay, that brain power is the key. Remember, a red brain should not try to act like a green brain should not try to act like a red brain. Be true to your process and you will succeed. You will have more brain power, more potential, and more competencies if you use your natural process. Okay, if you remember from the last video on brain power, and if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's cool. You got to watch it. Okay, and of course, if you want to learn a little bit more about colored brain, go ahead and go to coloredbrain.com/book, and there is a very special deal so that you can get the Colored Brain Communication Field Manual, which basically tells you what this brain color will do in this situation with this other brain color, and it gives you all kinds of very specific action steps that you can take and basically reference so that you can have better relationships, that you can have an opportunity to lead people in a better way so that you can have more effectiveness and productivity working together, and of course, even a little bit on the seduction side. Shh, don't tell anybody. Okay, so go to coloredbrain.com/book to get the very special deal. This is normally $18.85 on Amazon, but today only, well, maybe not today, because you could probably be watching this video anytime. The book will still be there, but anyway, it's kind of fun to say that, right? Today only. Well, anyway, so $3.80. Go to the special page, coloredbrain.com/book, and you'll find the special deal for $383.80. And this is Arthur Carmazzi wishing you great success.